This AI agent gives me profitable crypto trades on autopilot. I built it from scratch using zero code with n8n. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. But more importantly, I'm going to give you 2 secret AI prompts that makes this agent so powerful. And that's the difference between a simple bot and the real crypto quant. Most trading bots fail for one simple reason. They only use lagging indicators like RSI and MACD. They tell you what already happened. But to be profitable, an AI agent needs to be forward looking. It needs to analyze raw price action and understand market sentiment. And that's exactly what this workflow does. It pulls hundreds of data points from Binance, scrapes the latest crypto news to analyze fear or greed, and feeds it all into our custom AI brain. But before I show you exactly how you can build this, let me show you what the output looks like. So as you can see, I'm inside of my Telegram bot and I entered ETH for Ethereum. It ran through the automation and this is what the output looks like. So it's given me a market analysis and spot recommendation, a short-term analysis, both in the 15-minute and the 1-hour windows, trend directions, volatility, momentum indicators, long-term analysis, this time for the 1-day and the 1-hour windows, trends, momentum, alignment to macro market conditions, sentiment drivers, and even recommendations for spot trading. So it's giving me the action to buy, in this case, the entry price, the stop loss, and the take profit. And it's even giving me a rationale behind all of this. And to wrap this up, it's giving me a sentiment summary. So I've got the short-term sentiment, in this case, it's neutral. The long-term sentiment is positive. It's giving me an underlying score and the rationale behind both outlooks. And guys, I don't sit here and monitor markets, nor do I read crypto news because I've got better things to do. But more importantly, I'm running an AI agency. So I simply just don't have the time. Okay, let me run a live test. This time I'm going to enter Sol for Solana. I hit enter and it triggers the automation. You can see that it's done the candlestick scrape. It's got the crypto news. Now it's plugging that into the market analysis and it's taking both the technical data, the market data, and it's going to put it into a technical analyst AI agent. And then once that's done, you'll see the output inside of Telegram. The entire automation took about 48 seconds. But more importantly, here's the Solana USDT market analysis and spot recommendation. It's got a summary of the candlestick data, the technical market analysis, both for short-term and long-term. It's got the market sentiment interpretations. It's giving me spot recommendations. So for this example, it's recommending a buy trade. It's giving me the entry price, the stop loss, and the take profit, a rationale, which is very important because I want it to explain why it's come to this conclusion. A sentiment summary, long-term sentiment, short-term sentiment, and basically all the reasoning behind that. So now that you've seen how it works, let me show you how you can build this. So the first thing we need is a trigger. And this is for the data pipeline. Once this is built, I'll reveal the first secret prompt for the sentiment analysis. So the automation starts off with a Telegram trigger, which is on message. You get a bunch of outputs. The most important is the ID. We're going to need that later. And the text, which is Sol for Solana. The next node is a JavaScript node. And the reason for this is if I had typed in Solana, that's not the actual symbol for this particular crypto. It's actually Sol. So if I do type in Solana, then this will actually format it for Binance because the symbol needs to be this here. The pair that I'm trading is Solana and USDT. Once we have that, we're going to plug it into the 15-minute candle, the 1-hour, the 1-day, and we grab the crypto news. So for the 15-minute candle, it's exactly the same for the 3 timeframes. You just change the interval. And so for this, we're going to use the Binance API because as you can see, I'm not authenticating, which means that's completely free. The API is this here. And then for the symbol, we're just going to use the symbol field from the Telegram node. And then the most important thing here is the interval, which is 15M for 15 minutes. And it's exactly the same for the other 2 timeframes. So for the 1 hour, you do the same, but this time the interval is 1H. And then for the 1-day candle, yep, you guessed it, the interval is 1D. Very, very simple. Remember the method is get because we're pulling it from Binance's service. Once we have that, we can then grab the crypto news. So this is another HTTP request node. The method is get, and we're just going to get everything from this API, which is completely free from newsapi.org. And then we're going to send it some parameters. So you're going to toggle this on. The first parameter is Q. And so this is just a keyword search. So we're looking for crypto or Bitcoin or CoinDesk. We're going to filter everything else out. And then I've put in a date range for the last 5 days. You can put in any date range you want. And then the next parameter is going to be sort by, and we want popularity. And then the last thing you want to do is put in your API key. And what you want to do is just head over to newsapi.org, just sign in and grab your API key. Again, you don't need to steal my key here because the API is completely free. And they give you something like 1,000 credits a month, which is more than enough for this. Once it runs, you're going to get an output like this, which is every news article related to crypto, Bitcoin, or CoinDesk in the last 5 days. And remember, it's sorted by popularity. And then once we have that, we want to sort it out a little bit, right? We want to filter the news. And so what this JavaScript node is going to do, it's going to filter it out into the right-hand side, which is an object/array. So all that means is it's a table. The table is called filtered articles. 0 just means it's position 1 in the table. So it's row 1, you got row 2, row 3, and so on and so forth. Okay, it's got a title and description for all of that. So just tidied it up a little bit, which makes it easier to manipulate later downstream. So now that we have the technical data and we've got the market data, we can now plug it into AI agents to understand the technical and the market sentiments. So we'll start off with the technical side, and you can see I've got a merge node. So I'm merging the timeframes. So basically the outputs are 200, 200, 200. So I want 3 inputs, which is just a merge, append, and the number of inputs is 3. Very simple. So we've got 200 individual outputs, now merge it to 600 inputs. And 600 inputs are difficult to deal with, right? They're difficult to manipulate, which is why I've added another JavaScript node. And all I'm doing is I'm converting a JSON into an object. All that means is very simple code, is that we're going to take the 600 items or candlestick data, and we're going to turn it into one object. So we haven't lost any data. It's just an object inside of an array, or the arrays inside the object. And you've got basically the table items. So all 600 are now inside one object. And then for the market analyst, we need an AI agent. And so we're going to define the prompt below, which is just the filtered articles from the filter news node. That's the input. And then as with any AI agent, the prompt is the most important part. So for this is a quite longish prompt. I'll keep it simple. You are a highly intelligent and accurate sentiment analyzer specializing in cryptocurrency markets. You want to analyze short-term sentiment, long-term sentiment, and I've given it some output instructions. And I've given it an example output. And the most important thing is that we just want an output that's a JSON object. So when it runs, it'll look something like this. This is JSON. And then once we have the technical data and the market analysis data, we can then merge it into our final technical analysis. This will give us everything that we saw inside of Telegram, basically the brain. So again, we need another merge node because we need to merge both analysis. The number of inputs is 2 because we only have 2 inputs. And then again, we're going to convert it to an object. So I've used some simple JavaScript code to take 2 items and turn it into one, purely for the sake of being able to manipulate it inside the AI agent, which is this one here, the technical analyst. It's another AI agent. We're going to define 2 prompts. The first one is a symbol, which we get from the format to Binance node, which is this one here. We just grab that field, drag it over. And the second input is going to be the market analysis. And the last input, as you probably guessed, is going to be a technical analysis. And so for this prompt, I'll put in there that you are a highly intelligent and detail-oriented crypto market analyst. You'll be given some raw candlestick data, some crypto news, and your job is to analyze the data, summarize it into clear, human-friendly for insights, and produce a structured spot trading recommendation report. I've given it some important rules. So the output looks something like this, right? And obviously this is not very friendly for humans. So I want the AI agent to make it more user-friendly, which means that we're going to convert all candlestick data into the following summaries: trend direction, volatility levels, recent highs and lows, support and resistance levels, and momentum changes. I've given it some format requirements because we're sending this to Telegram as HTML. So there's certain things in HTML that Telegram doesn't support. And then we've got a few steps here. So the first is to group the candlestick data. The second is the technical market analysis. The third is to interpret the market sentiment. The fourth step is generate a spot trading recommendation. And the last step is a sentiment summary, basically the final output. When it runs, you'll have something like this. And then we need one last JavaScript node. And the reason for this is we need to format the message. There's a few reasons for that. There is some HTML that Telegram doesn't support, but also Telegram has a 4,000 character word limit per message, which is why I need to split it into 2 messages. And that's all this code does. So you can see here that there's 2 items, which means there's a part 1 message and a part 2. And then the last node is to send it to Ava, which is another Telegram node. This time is to send message. We just need 2 things: the chat ID, which you can find from the first node, and that's this field here. And then the last input is going to be the message, and that's going to be from format message. We just drag this over and move it down. And then for additional field, just pass the mode to HTML. You have an output like this, but more importantly, you'll get the output inside of Telegram. And that's it. You now have the complete framework to build your own AI crypto quant that can analyze coins on command or hunt for opportunities automatically. The real magic is in those 2 custom prompts, because they force the AI to think like a trader, not just a text generator. And if you want to save hours and grab this automation for yourself, click on the link in the description and sign up to the Automation Kings private community. I've got a ton of resources besides this AI trading analyst bot. We've got people in there who want to build an AI agency. We've got members who work 9 to 5, but they want to try an AI side hustle. And there's also people who've never heard of AI. They're not quite sure where to start, and they've joined my group so I can help them. So the link for that is in the description below. Sign up and I'll see you on the inside. And before you go, if this video was a revelation to you and you got some value from it, smash the like button, leave your comments below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, turn your notifications on, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and happy trading.